Welcome to my views on news. Main news story is from Raya, southern Tigray. Disputed territory between Tigray and the Amhara regions. Before this war, the area was part of Tigray. Later, Amhara forces took control of it. Are Amhara forces withdrawing from the main city of southern zone, Alamata? We have received some information from Alamata city. Secondly, viewers, another Ethiopian journalist was arrested yesterday. On Sunday, he was arrested from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. He is very critical of Oromia regional government, and he is from Amhara Voice Media. I have a few questions. Why are these new news outlets named after ethnic groups? Amhara Voice, Oromia Voice. Is this journalism that you should name your outlet after an ethnic group? Firstly, viewers, southern zone, southern Tigray. Amhara regional leaders call it Raya. They say Raya Alamata, Raya Vaja are part of Amhara region. Tigray says constitutionally both southern and western zones are part of Tigray. When the war broke out in November 2020, area was part of Tigray, but in the first month of the fighting in November 2020, Amhara forces, Ethiopian National Defense Force took control of entire Raya. But in July 2021, Tigray forces launched a counteroffensive after the withdrawal of ENDF, Eritrean military and Amhara forces from Tigray. But the withdrawal did not happen from southern and western parts of Tigray. Tigray forces retook Raya. Tigray forces could not retake western zone, Volkayet. Then in August last year, Tigray forces launched another offensive from Raya towards Wollo. They entered North Wollo, they took control of Kobo, they managed to get close to Voldia. Counteroffensive came from the north, from Eritrea, where ENDF and EDF launched a joint offensive on Tigray territories, and TDF had to retreat all the way from Voldia, from Wollo, from Raya to Meoni towards Makale. So since September, almost September last year, Raya has been under the control of Amhara forces. Fano played a role as well in this third round of fighting. East Amhara Fano, led by Mere Bodajo, fought on front lines. Fano, ENDF, Amhara forces, they jointly pushed Tigray forces out of Alamata, Koram, Vaja, Tamoga. Now, after the signing of the peace deal, we have been hearing that Amhara forces will have to withdraw. At one point, PM Abiy will tell them to leave these two zones. And we have been seeing statements from Amhara leaders, from Amhara region-based groups, from Amhara diaspora, opposing the withdrawal of Amhara forces from both zones, Raya and Volkayet. Now, reportedly, Amhara forces have been seen leaving Alamata. How many of them have left Alamata? It's difficult to say. But reportedly last night, hundreds of ENDF soldiers arrived in Alamata. So maybe ENDF is replacing Amhara forces in Alamata. I think Fano is already out of Raya zone. Fano members were told to leave Raya. Amhara forces were there. They were told to withdraw from outskirts of cities towards main cities a few months ago. So they were based in Koram Alamata. They were told to withdraw. They withdrew from outskirts, from countryside areas. Now they are being told to leave the main cities. Main city, capital of this zone, Alamata. ENDF is replacing them. But having said that, it's not that all Amhara forces have left the area. It's not rotation, we have confirmed. It's not that new Amhara forces are arriving in Alamata and those deployed for months are leaving. No, it's not rotation. Amhara forces are leaving. Are they leaving willingly or are they leaving under pressure? Because ENDF, federal government, has told them to leave Alamata. Difficult to say. Obviously, if they are leaving under pressure. From day one, since the start of third round of fighting, Amhara region-based groups, they have been saying that Alamata, Raya Alamata, Volkayat are both parts of Amhara. And we have been seeing statements. Just a few days ago, there was a huge rally taken out in Alamata by Amharas, backed by provisional government put in place in Alamata, in Raya, by Amhara regional government. And after this rally, Tigray Communication Affairs Bureau reacted. It said that federal government should intervene. Amharas from outside Raya were brought to Alamata to take out the rally, that with the message that Raya is part of Amhara. So, background information which we are receiving is that gradually Tigray could take control of Alamata, Raya, entire Raya. It could happen gradually. PM Abiy's government has decided reportedly to give Raya to TPLF. It's difficult to say what is government's plan about Volkayat, because Amhara region's claim to Volkayat is stronger than that of the claim to Raya. They might fight over Volkayat more than over Raya. But still, it's not that all Amhara forces have left Alamata. So we'll have to keep this development under monitoring, under surveillance. It means that things are happening on the ground. Tigray is going to get Raya back. And after that, election will be held in Tigray. Tigray wants to hold regional election after these territorial disputes are resolved. Of course, Tigray cannot hold election without any decision about the status of Volkayat and Raya, because tens of thousands displaced from these areas are in Tigray. How will they vote? Where will they vote? Several questions. So far, some contingents of Amhara forces have been seen leaving Alamata towards Wollo, towards Amhara region. Secondly, viewers, another Ethiopian journalist has been arrested. List of Ethiopian journalists who have been arrested in the past 2 years is very long, extended list. Almost on weekly basis, we see new names included. And journalists from Tigray, from Amhara, from Oromia, from Gurage, all are being arrested. These days, mainly those journalists are being arrested who are criticizing Oromia regional government, who are raising issues related to Amhara ethnic group. The journalist arrested yesterday works for Amhara Voice Media. His name is Gatnath Shagre. He was arrested from his residence reportedly in Addis Ababa, arrested by intelligence agency officials. And this journalist has been very critical of Oromia regional government. He's been covering issues like displacements from Valaga, displacements of ethnic Amharas from Valaga, and displacements from Shaggar, demolition of houses around Addis Ababa of people from Amhara ethnic group. So mainly he's been covering issues of the Amhara ethnic group. That is why outlet's name is Amhara Voice Media. Now my question is, these journalists have right to work freely. No one can deny that. But do these journalists follow any law, any SOP? I mean, can you name an outlet, a news outlet, after an ethnic group? Amhara Voice Media? Does it mean that this news outlet is only voice of ethnic Amharas? Is this what journalism is? And it's not just news outlets covering Amhara issues. From Tigray as well, Tigray TV, Oromia Media Network. This is not what journalism is, by the way. This is not what reporting is. These news outlets, once they name their outlets after an ethnic group, it means that they have become biased. How would they cover the issues of other ethnic groups impartially? So while we condemn the action, state action on these journalists by Ethiopian government, by regional governments, at the same time, these journalists should also learn. They should learn to cover all conflicts without any bias towards any side. That is what true journalism is. Thank you for watching.